Hey y'all, this is a video on the, shoot, there we go. Is that gonna hold up? Probably. Hey y'all, this is a video on the Peavey Mace B2. Gigantic amp, it's 160 watts. I'm thinking about using it for a bass head, but I just want to show you what it can do with the guitar. So starting off, I'm just gonna turn this channel all the way down right here. I'm gonna even out all the knobs for you. And basically I'm just going to run through each of the presets on this thing. So just put my earbuds up there. So we're going to start out with a really low gain right here. I'm going to leave the knobs at the medium position. Now, disclaimer on this, the phaser does not work. I'll just turn it on. It just makes a humming sound. Turn up the gain. It does nothing. I'm going to turn off reverb first and just... It's a decent clean sound. It's just a Marshall clean sound, you know, there's nothing special about it. I'm going to turn on the reverb real quick and just give you guys a quick rundown of the reverb. It's decent. It's not my favorite spring reverb sound. It's a little buzzy, but you know, it is reverb. It's real spring, so you know, I mean, take that what you will. I usually turn the bass down. Scratchy pots. I usually turn the bass down and the treble up. That's close enough, but there's not really a drip sound with this. It's just very buzzy, and leave the reverb on. It's decent. It's not very good. That's all the feedback I'll give on it. So when you have the treble set up high, bass set down low, you get a nice shimmery, clean Fender thing. I'm going to turn the pre-gain to about 5 right here. You know, we're starting to get that distortion. Even at about 3 or 4, you're starting to get that distortion. At about 5, it becomes edge of breakup to the point where if you run an overdrive or boost into it, that's where you want it. We're up here right at 6 right now. So, you know, up there we're starting to get a little more of that gain. Let's turn it up to about 8 right here. Sorry, I'm just leaving that out right there. So about 8 or 9, it's still regular, and then for whatever reason, when you start turning it up to like 10, it takes on this like fuzz quality. Like again, we dial this back to 9 or like 8.5. This is so out of tune. I'm gonna pause the video and tune this out. But like there, it's relatively normal. And then we bring it up to 10. It just gets completely out of control. Like up to there, you lose all semblance of like you start losing all semblance of like actual tone past that point. It takes on this noticeably buzzy quality right there on the dial. But up here it's like you'll see what I mean with that. Like it loses all semblance of like being an actual tone with like any substance behind it, and it just starts becoming this horrible buzzy noise. But like 1 to 7, 1 to 8 is like really good overdrive. Like I genuinely enjoy it. I think it's amazing. So I'm going to stop the video and tune up, and then I will go to the other channel and talk about some of the features on this amp. I'll catch you real quick. All right. So back with part 2 right here, and we are going to be on the second channel. Now, I have this plugged into Auto Mix right here, which I'll talk about later, but I can use these 2 channels in conjunction. So, actually, I'll just talk about that later. But we're going to go through this right here. Now, the 2 main things is that this channel has the phaser option, and it has middle control. Alright, so I have this set up to my clean tone, and again, you know, I prefer treble all the way out on this amp. It's a very muddy amp. They're called Mississippi Marshalls. They're also called Muddy Marshalls. It's a very muddy amp. You want the treble all the way up. You want the bass pretty far down, unless you're running a bass through it, which is viable because it's 160 watts. I'll talk more on that later, maybe. But and then I prefer having the middle, like, you know, 5, 6, 7 treble all the way out, you know. And then we're going to start cranking up the pre-gain. We get to about 5 again. So that's just like an overdrive tone, you know, nothing too special. We're going to put it up to about 8 right there. Now this is the channel I like, because you get that lovely overdrive, just absolutely amazing up here, and then... So we're just going to run a shootout between these two channels right here. So, channel 2, I feel like you get more of everything, for whatever reason. The clean tone and the overdrive tone seems to be better than this channel. For whatever reason, it seems to be fuller on this channel and also more clear than this channel. So, I just feel like the second channel is where I would like to live on this amp. And you also have the phaser, the additional mid-range control. So it just seems perfect. But now I'm going to talk about my favorite part of the amp. So right here you have normal input right here. This is just this channel right here. Second, you have effects. For whatever reason, both of these seem to correspond to this channel. Oh yeah, because it's channel effects. Never mind. This isn't the effects loop. Effects loop is not on the front of the amp. This is the effects channel. B input is low gain, A input is high gain, and then on the bottom right here you have this channel called Auto Mix, which runs both channels. So what I love about this is that you can get, like, okay, so we'll just run like a screaming overdrive setting on this thing right here. That sounds great, right? Now we're going to run a clean tone on this one. So you can run this fuzz in the background as like a lo-fi crunch. You can dial back to overdrive. To that brutal low end combined with this clean that you can still hear what you're playing. So what's great about this is that for me the overdrive reacts with my low strings and the clean reacts with my high strings. Which means that no matter how low I have this, so I can do, you know, my typical stoner metal sleep kind of stuff. So you can run that like piercing high end that has the clarity and all that, and then the low end that is just. It's just perfect. I have not dialed this in the best because I'm still playing around with this, but you can sense like how revolutionary. I mean, not revolutionary. People have been doing this on amps, but with no phase cancellation, it's just great. I mean, again, this is just like jumpering the channels, except for there's less noise, and the channels are more responsive with each other, and they're not like cascading into each other, so more gain like isn't really an issue when you want to turn the bright up and the normal up. Have them doing different things. It's not like all of a sudden, oh, I've tripled the amount of gain I have. This is horrible now. I just wanted like a clean sound with the best of both worlds. You can do that with this amp. They're not jumpered. These are separate inputs which are running the same signal. It's just great. So that's the main features on the front. I'll just go over the back really quickly. So this is a hybrid amp. 6 power tubes, solid state preamp. So, you know, it's amazing. On the back right here, we have a line out, preamp out, power amp in. We have a foot switch, a DI line out, 2 speaker jacks, and a polarity on-off switch, which you don't need to have the 3-prong cord. But it would be good for, like, you know, studio recording too. It's like, shoot, someone's phone's going off. It's just like, it's super, super versatile. And I'm going to demonstrate this versatility with just one more display real quick. I'm going to put down my Les Paul, and I'm going to pick up my bass. Because this amp, while it is a fantastic guitar amp, is also loud enough that it can be a bass amp without any issues at all. And I'm not going to run this all the way out, but I just want to show you the amount of clean tone that this thing has all the way up on the dial. This has 160 watts of clean power before it even starts becoming distorted. That is amazing. For a tube bass amp, And I'm just going to turn this channel off so that I can demonstrate with just one channel how good this thing is at a bass clean. And I have reverb. Let me see if the reverb does it. Yeah, that reverb tank is shaking. It's time to turn up the bass a little bit. I'll turn down the treble just a hair. That's with just my mud bucker in the neck. Turn down the bass a hair, turn the treble up. I'm kind of scared to let this thing all the way out, but I'm just going to turn up the preamp gain. Amazing bass tone. I'm scared to leave up the post gain so much because I know I'm going to come back later this with guitar and blow my ears out if I leave the post gain up there. But this amp can do anything you want because this amp is brutally loud. It has huge overdrive. It can sound like a Marshall. It can sound like relatively clean Fender. Bring up that pre-gain to about 10, you get yourself a nice orange fuzz. It will do whatever you throw at it. And I haven't even started with pedals and all that stuff. This amp was used by Leonard Skinner. People talk about getting Skinner tones from this all the time. I typically get doom metal tones out of everything that I touch. I'm pretty sure I could touch a Silverface Fender and get doom metal tones out of it. But, oh my gosh. This is an amazing amp. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to, especially with Peavey stuff. You could drop this out of the back of a van, it would roll around down the street, you could pick it up, fire it on, and it would still work. Peavey stuff is indestructible. This would make a great gigging platform, and that's what I'm planning on doing with it. I'm going to hopefully be using this for bass for a while. I have another project, which if you're following me on Instagram, I'll definitely post progress of that one, and it'll be between these two to see which one's going to be my bass rig. But I rarely keep amps. Like next, I don't think I've kept maybe 2 amps in all my time buying and selling stuff. I may keep this one. I don't know yet, but this was cheap. Shipped to me, it cost me like $320. It's got 160 watts, an amazing preamp section, a lot of features, and it's all the amp I would ever need for anything. I just can't recommend it highly enough. It's amazing. Thank y'all for watching, and I guess this is like the most detailed Peavey Mace demo out there. I guess thank you for watching if you watched to the end, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you buy yourself a Peavey Mace. They're amazing. Thank you. Got to turn the video off. All right.